A good friend of mine inherited his grandparents' house about 4 years ago. He grew up there, so selling it was never really an option. For the moment, he just wanted to live there and figure things out slowly. It felt like home to him. Not even a week after moving in, there was a knock on the door. 3 people were standing outside, introducing themselves as members of the neighborhood HOA board. They said they were there to get him to sign his membership papers. From the very beginning, something felt off. They were rude, nosy, and acted like they already owned the place. One of them didn't even bother asking permission. He walked straight toward the garage and tried to open it. When my friend stopped him and asked what he thought he was doing, the guy said he needed to inspect the garage and that he had the right to do it every 2 weeks. He even claimed that denying access would result in a fine. That was enough. My friend told them to leave immediately. As he pushed them back toward the door, one of the board members shoved a stack of papers into his face and demanded that he sign them right now. They said the papers were supposed to be signed before he ever moved in, and that he was already late. After they finally left, he actually read the paperwork. It was insane. The HOA gave itself permission to enter your home every 2 weeks, inspect your garage, control how you used it, ban storing basic items, restrict gasoline containers, demand weekly lawn mowing, and require snow removal every 2 hours starting at 5 in the morning. You couldn't even park more than 1 car on your own property unless it was inside the garage. It was pure control. A few days later, they came back. They demanded to know why he hadn't signed yet and again insisted on inspecting the garage. This time, he didn't even open the door. He told them clearly that he would never join their HOA to them. That declaration meant war. Within a week, fines started arriving in the mail. Over $1,000 in total. Some of the fines were simply for denying them access to his home, each one worth $250. My friend didn't take them seriously. He literally used the letters as fire starters for his grill. Then came the day they went way too far. He came home one afternoon and found one of the board members inside his garage, writing things down on a notepad. They had broken in, but even worse than that, he saw a professional tree removal crew working in his front yard. He had 2 massive oak trees out front. They weren't just trees. His great-grandparents planted them when they first moved into the house, newly married, using seeds from their home country. One of those trees had already been destroyed. It was reduced to a damaged stump. The second one was already being cut. He lost it. He immediately told the crew to stop and explained that he was the homeowner and that what they were doing was illegal. The workers were shocked. They said the HOA board member told them the trees violated HOA rules and that the homeowner had approved their removal. That was a lie later. My friend discovered the HOA actually had a bylaw claiming that if a garden produced more than 1 40-liter bag of leaves within 2 weeks, the offending trees had to be removed. Completely absurd. He told the tree crew that he wouldn't pursue them legally if they agreed to testify in court. Then he called the police. The board members were charged with trespassing and breaking and entering. They had used bolt cutters to break the lock on his garage. He had installed a heavy bike lock specifically because they had tried to enter before. The court case was devastating for the HOA. They were forced to pay for the destroyed oak tree, which alone was valued at over $50,000. They had to pay damages for the second tree, including nearly $1,000 for professional care to save it. They also had to reimburse him for the broken lock. But the board didn't stop there. They tried to fight the ruling, which only made things worse. Legal fees stacked up fast. By the end, the case had cost them well over $100,000. Then my friend sued them again in civil court. He explained what those trees meant to him, how they were planted by his great-grandparents, how they carried emotional and cultural value. He explained how the HOA made him feel unsafe in his own home, how he struggled to sleep because he feared they would break in again. The court believed him. He was awarded $500,000 in emotional damages, plus the cost of installing a state-of-the-art security system so he could feel safe in his own home again. Altogether, the HOA lost nearly $750,000. They went bankrupt. A mediator was appointed to investigate their finances, and that's when the final truth came out. Those 3 board members had been defrauding the HOA for over 10 years. They issued as many fines as possible to inflate their own income. Every single one of them was forced to sell their house to pay what they owed. Today, my friend is one of the most liked people in the neighborhood. He's constantly invited to barbecues, gatherings, and celebrations. Most residents never wanted the HOA in the first place. They were bullied into signing. The board had claimed membership was mandatory and threatened a $500 fine for anyone who didn't comply before moving in. Out of more than 50 residents, only 6 actually supported the HOA, and many people believe even those 6 were rewarded for spying on their neighbors. That's how one homeowner stood his ground, exposed corruption, and completely destroyed a toxic HOA from the inside.